Welcome, everyone. It is a glorious Wednesday. And again, the moon, she's in my window. Come to my window. Yeah, there she is. In all of her glorious splendor. And the stars are out. And there's also a plane streaking across the sky with chemtrails. Huh. Intriguing, I say. And the Big Dipper is also in my window. And so this is how we have it. The moon is out and the stars are out and it is glorious. So today our message is simple. What you prepare for, you become, you get. Right? So what do you spend your time preparing for? Well, how do you know that you're preparing for something anyway? How do you know that you are preparing for something? How do you know what you're preparing for? Well, look at where your mind goes all the time. It goes one place all the time, over and over and over again. So what is it? What is it that always has your attention more so than anything else? Whatever that thing is that mentally has your attention, that is what you are preparing to receive. Because you are becoming it. So you take the time. Take the time. Wealthy Supreme Rico. Hello, Graham. Casey. Cyber. Oh, Yoda Green. Meow. Oh, no, let's do it the other way. Yeah, that's for you, meow. Anywho, what are you preparing yourself for? You find out what you are preparing yourself for by becoming aware of what you are persistently saying to yourself. What do I mean? You see, we think that when we speak to ourselves that it's always out loud. That is not the case. We don't speak to ourselves out loud. When it has moved you, well, then it comes out of your mouth. But before that, it is always inside your head. So what are you preparing yourself for? Whatever you're saying to yourself is what you are preparing yourself to experience. Oh my God, like totally what a great day. I totally love getting out of bed in the morning. Yeah, some days I am like that, really. I just spring out of bed. I'm ready like SpongeBob, and I'm like, ugh, girl, just take several more naps, okay? The world is just not ready. And I'm excited. Other days I'm just like, ugh, must I? Must I get out of bed? But one of those thoughts is more persistent than the other. One of them is more persistent than the other. That is the one that Neville Goddard calls your home state. That is the one you're constantly saying the same thing. You're constantly feeling the same thing. You're constantly saying the same thing to yourself day in and day out. What is that? What are you saying to yourself all day, every day? That is the experience you will have. Oh my God. I just can't stand it. Oh my God. Like, for instance, my supervisor always says, oh, I hate my life. And I sit there and I think to myself, well, do I interject? Do I encourage him? Or do I just pretend I don't hear? Some days I interject and I say, really? Come now. We all have things we go through, but we don't allow them to overwhelm us. And he says, sometimes when I interject, oh, that's just because you're young and you don't know what it is to be riddled with pain and arthritis. And I'm like, yes, I know. I don't have those problems. But the thing is, because he consistently complains about about the problem persists. Oh, Angela, you're just being insensitive. You're just being cruel. How can you look at somebody with chronic pain and say it is because that's what they do to themselves? I'm not saying it to you in that fashion to be cruel. I am saying it to you so that you would recognize what you are doing and change your mind. Change how you feel. Oh, but Angela, it's not that easy to change how you feel. No, you're right. It's not that easy. Why not? Because once you set down a habit, whoo, child. Hello. Once you set down that habit, but here's the beautiful thing. Once you successfully set down a habit, you know how to do it now. So you can do one habit, you can do another, because that is what we are. That is what we do. So if you are persistently doing and feeling something in a particular way, look at what it is. Look at your habit. Don't judge the habit. Don't sit there and go, oh my God, I can't change this habit. I'm so imprisoned by it. No, you're not. You're not imprisoned by anything other than what you surrender to. So you see, the habit is a simple thing. What is a habit? Something you do the same way every time. That is a habit. So then, is your salvation not in knowing what a habit is? You see, sometimes what we try to do in our lives is to abandon one thing. I don't want to do that anymore, without having clearly defined what it is you want to do. Every cause has its effect, and every effect its cause, which is telling you, you do something, you can expect this thing. You can't say, I don't want to do that anymore. You must define the new thing, because you cannot have a void. Cause and effect exist simultaneously. So your old habit is a cause, which brings about its effects. So for you to change, you must select a new habit so that it can bring about its new effects. Some say, well, I'm going to quit smoking and do what? You're going to quit smoking and do what? Now that is where you put your attention on the new that you are building. This is how we change. By taking our attention away from something and putting it to. So anything you put your attention towards, meaning what you prepare for, you become. Let me tell you something. I remember back in the day, Jimmy Swaggart. Oh, don't roll your eyes. Yeah, I know, right? But he had this song that my grandmother used to love singing. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. Was the song he had. Why? What you prepare for, you become. You spend your life preparing for hardship by complaining every day. You spend your life preparing for ease and beauty by giving thanks every day. But you see, when we complain, we don't pretend to complain, do we? No, we complain with our whole chest. Complain 10 toes down. But when we want to say thank you, we have to pretend gratitude. Come now. One cannot pretend gratitude. You can't fake gratitude. Just like you don't fake complaining. You don't fake gratitude. And if you have nothing to be thankful for, I say look again. Because seeking you will find. But I know for me, sometimes, the only thing truly that I feel so good about giving thanks for is that I know the principles. I know what I can do to change my life. That is what I give thanks for. That one simple thing that, ooh, I don't have to struggle. I don't have to fight. See, you guys might think sometimes that, oh, she's just talking. She doesn't go through anything. Really? My one of my well, not one of the biggest challenge that I have been dealing with for the longest time is money. Why is that? Because I think the same way about it all day, every day. Until I started to catch myself. Okay, okay, huh? What are you doing here? You complaining, oh my God, I never have enough. Oh, what am I preparing myself for? Changing that. Well, every single time that I pay a bill, I say, ooh, yes, I did it. I paid a bill on time and in full. Woohoo! And I feel thankful for that. Because before, I would say to myself, well, whatever, don't matter none. But when you know how to use the principles, you use everything to your advantage. The way it makes me feel to pay it in full and on time, that is where I keep nurturing. But it is not yet a habit. It has not yet become like the back of my hand. When it becomes the back of my hand, well, then I know I'm on my way to Canaan land. That's when I know, you know, the land of milk and honey. You know what I'm talking about. When something becomes natural to you, that is exactly what you start bearing the fruit of. So every time I catch myself wanting to complain, ooh, oh, trust me, some days are harder than others. Some days are harder than others when it comes to this money. But whenever I catch myself, I say, what are you preparing yourself? Huh? What you saying, Angela? What you feeling, Angela? And I'm like, okay. How did it feel last time? That's what I want to feel again. I want to feel that feeling. A feeling. I want to feel that feeling that reminds me that, oh, I did it. And I go back to that over and over and over. And I just have to keep going back to it. I cannot stop to ask myself, am I rich yet? Every time, if you stop and you do that, you go right back to the beginning because your attention isn't on the feeling anymore. Remember what I told you for the past week. What you remember or ruminate on, you bring about again. But what you rehearse, you also bring about. So then you are faced with two choices. You will either ruminate, pontificate, contemplate, right? Remember the things of the past that have hurt you and keep bringing them forward. Or you will rehearse what you want to become. How would you walk into a room? How would you speak to people in that room? How would you draft your emails? How would you do the things that confirm for you you are the person that you said you wanted to become? If you spend your time practicing that, rehearsing that, well, what has your attention? Oh, exactly. That's what has your attention. Remember, Neil Goddard says, the thing that has your attention, let it be something you are passionate about. Let it be something you love. Why? Because nobody has to force you to be where you love being. That is why when you start out, it's not you love to complain, because we say that sometimes. Oh my God, they always complain. They just love being so miserable. No, they don't. It is just the habit of misery. It is just a habit. It is just a habit. And if you can make one habit you can make another. So what do you prepare yourself for? Let me tell you something. If you don't know about Cody, let me tell you. Cody is always practicing his lyrics. He's always practicing his dance moves because he has to get on stage. And you don't want to get on stage looking a fool. So what do? Prepare for the show. So that when he steps onto the stage and he says, hello, everybody ups and gives him a standing O because they know what he brings. But how did he get there? Because he prepared. So you think preparation just has to do with what you cook, how you go to work, how you practice, and on stage? It is every aspect of your life that you prepare for. When you get in the car, what's in your mind to drive down the street? Well, that's what you're preparing for. You're preparing for what? Are you preparing for the jerks on the road who don't know how to merge? I hope not. Or you're going to be pulling an Angela or a Scotch bonnet. You're going to be leaning on that horn. You be cussing somebody out. I'm just telling you as it is. So before you act, prepare. Because what you prepare for is how you will act. There's nothing else I can tell you. You know this. You outside and you dig up that backyard to plant, you're preparing the soil for what? Your future harvest. So you see, everything in life is a preparation. We're not talking about preparation H, but you know how it is. Everything in life is a preparation. Speaking of preparation H, I saw a joke this morning. What do you call a dinosaur with hemorrhoids? Stegosaurus. Sorry. Oh my God. Listen, when I saw that joke this morning, I cracked up. Let me tell you. Because it was funny. It may not be funny to you, but it was funny to me. I laughed so hard that rooster crowed. Mm-hmm. That's what he did. But anywho, I'm preparing myself for a great day. Really and truly. That's what you do day in and day out. You prepare yourself mentally because it is the only way to prepare. The only way to prepare is mentally. I do it when I drive. Where am I going? I go the furthest distance first so I don't have to double back. So when I'm done, I just head home. My father taught me to do that. You prepare your route or your route, depending on where you're from. You plan the route out. So you prepare yourself for how you want to do what it is you're doing. Your chores, your errands. I learned that in home management in secondary school in Barbados because there was a test. You had to do laundry, you had to cook, you had to make sandwiches, you had to polish shoes. What you gonna do first? You have to sit down and think about what you were gonna do first. You don't just start. What's going to take the longest? Because when you're done, you gotta iron them clothes that you did. The last thing to be done is to polish the shoes. Why? Because you don't want to polish shoes and then make sandwiches. You have to plan it out. You have to prepare it. But you prepare it in your mind because as you prepare it in your mind, you begin to see how it will unfold. You know what? If I do it this way, that'll happen. You know, but if I do it this way, that'll happen. So by the time you're done planning it out in your mind's eye, you have accomplished the goal. You have accomplished the task in your mind's eye. And what do? You just follow through with it physically. As within, so without. This is how we get through any day, any day. Oh, but Angela, my depression is so crippling. Angela, my anxiety is so crippling. Well, let me ask you to observe something. When you are in the throes of depression, what you thinking? Yeah, what you thinking? When you answer that question, you'll see the way out. Because what are you thinking about when you're having a good day? Ah, Same thing. What are you thinking about when you're anxious? I don't know if I can do this. Oh my God, I don't know. Ah, see, the thoughts are anxious. Well, then so must the actions be. So, how do you prepare yourself? Step one, recognize what you are doing and then make a choice. Do I want to continue doing this thing or do I want to change it to something else? And then you change it to something else. You notice how what you change it to is not asking for your opinion. It's not asking you if you think you can do that. I don't know. Them is big dreams you got talking about. I just want to do this instead. It's not asking for your opinion. You choose the desired effect that you would like to have in life. And when you choose the desired effect, how do you choose the effect? Well, sometimes when I say to my boy, do this or else, oh, sometimes he'll move. Sometimes. But he chooses depending upon what the outcome is that he would like. You want more PlayStation money? Hmm. Well, then you're going to have to straighten up and fly right. Oh, you don't want the PlayStation money? Well, stay as you are. And I will see the gears turning in his head. You choose the desired outcome, and the cause will bring it about. You don't have to force the cause. Remember last night? Force brings about resistance. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to force the change. You don't have to force yourself out of depression. You don't have to force yourself out of anxiety. Just ease on out of it. How? By recognizing what the thoughts are. If the thoughts are dark and gloomy, well, then so will your bedroom be. And let me tell you, if they funky, well, that's another story for another day. If the thoughts are frazzled and discombobulated, well, then that's what your life will be. You start with one thought at a time. What thought can make me feel better? What can I recall? But then remember your mirror neurons, they are your friends. I keep telling you, everything has been designed for your success. A mirror neuron means if you smile or you watch somebody smile because they watch you smile, you watch them smile. So for instance, you walking down the street and somebody smiles, your body will release endorphins. Just the fact of you hearing the word smile makes you want to smile. And what happens? And now you can continue mean mugging if you want and then staunch the flow of your endorphins, but hey, smile. And you'll release the endorphins. So what you see will also influence what you think about because it will put you in a mood. So I love to watch the Golden Girls. Picture it. Cicely, 1947. You know, hey, Big Daddy, Blanche, but I digress. You find something that you can mentally participate in that will lift your mood and you will ease yourself right out of any depression. But you must persistently do it because you have to set down the habit. So don't think that depression has you today. Depression ain't got nothing on you other than you've been doing it for a long time. So now you got to do something else. But the more excited you are to do the new thing, the faster you get out. Not by might, not by power, but by my what now? Spirit. What's your spirit? What you imagine. You can't see the spirit, can you? But you see the evidence of the spirit. So that which you imagine yourself to be on the inside is what you will become on the outside for the whole world to see. And that is what it is, day in and day out, y'all. Day in and day out. For real, for real. So what you gonna do today? You gonna tell yourself, oh my God, I heard some crazy chick be talking that I can change my life. I don't gotta be depressed. Depression is just a habit. She says I can change, but she don't know nothing about my life. I will say this to you. I don't need to know your life story because I understand exactly how you got there, because I know how the principles work. And because I know how you got there because of the principles, I also know that if you apply the principles, you can get out. So I'm the only one over here cheering and hooting and hollering for your success. Eh, that's okay. I'll be like Aaron to Moses. You know the story when the children of Israel were fighting the Amalekites. And God said, as long as your hands stay up, you win this fight. But his hands got tired and he started to falter, and they were pushed back by the Amalekites. And Aaron said, not on my watch. And he lifted Moses' arms. Yeah? Now, you think this was on the battlefield? Come on now. This is in the battlefield of your mind, which tells you it is natural for you to wane. It is natural for you to become tired. But your Aaron is the law. The law that tells you, wait a minute, what's within me is what will be on the outside. So let me get something good in me. But hello, let me get something good in me. Because then I know what's going to be on the outside. So you see, everything is designed for your success. I didn't ask you about the Bible, whether you believe in it or not. It got nothing to do with belief. What does the story tell you to do? The story tells you that when you get tired, you have an inner strength that you can draw from. That is what the story tells you. So where's your inner strength then? Take a moment to sit quietly, and you will find that inner strength. It's not lost, and it is not hidden. It is the very core and essence of your being. That is what it is. That is exactly what it is. So, today, my beautiful friends, wait, who's here? Because yesterday I forgot to welcome people yesterday. Let me see. Yoda Green is here on Twitter. Hey, Yoda. YouTube, Wealthy Supreme Rico, Cyber. Oh, you're the ones who've made yourselves known in the chat. The others, I still see you. Fan base, who's kicking it with us this morning? Oh, hello, Farah. Welcome to the space. Oh, and she popped out. Maybe she didn't want nobody to call her name. Ray Ray, Cody, Grams. Hello, honey. KZ and Miss McQueen. I see you. What's the chat have to say? Because it looks like, ooh. Who's in the chat? Oh, I'm not sure what you're saying to me here, Ray Ray, but it's all right. I see you. Cody telling me to preach. Cody, you do not want to encourage me to preach because we ain't never going to leave and I got to get to work. I don't need my boss calling me. Angela, where are you? These phones don't answer themselves, Angela. These appointments don't book themselves. But you know how it is. So today, what are you going to practice? Pro who? You new to my space too. Hello. Prophet NYC. Welcome to the space, dearest. So today, as you go out into the world, whatever it is you may encounter, before you pop off, stop and ask yourself, what have I prepared for today? Oh, how you gonna know? If you're driving and you're cussing somebody out in your mind's eye, you thinking about type A and you arguing on the inside? I was just about to say humana, but I digress. But if you are driving and you're having a mental argument, you are preparing yourself for a fight. I'm just saying, as within, so without. As we go through the day today, what are you preparing yourself for? It is your attitude that will determine. Remember what your attitude is. Your attitude is your state of mind. Your attitude is your mood. It is your mood. If I say, wow, chicka, wow, wow, you know what kind of mood that is, right? We are always in a mood, but that mood will determine the actions, will determine the words, will determine the thoughts that you have. So make sure that the mood you prepare yourself to be in is one that you can commit to. Because once that thing becomes a habit, yeah, that's now the master. Because you made it master by doing it the same way every time. So you be the master and choose this day, as Deuteronomy 28 would tell you, choose this day whom you will serve. I put before you life and death, but choose life. Eh? This is what it says. So every turn in your life is telling you that you are master of your life. But we don't want to believe that. We want, don't be like the children of Israel in the Bible talking about all the other nations have a king. Well, we want a king too. Do you know what that story's telling you? You are willing to look outside for your guidance rather than within. And we all know how that turned when you look on the outside for guidance. Oh. So, what are you preparing yourself to experience? What are you preparing yourself to be? Let me go get this AM chime because he won't get chicken yet because he's still asleep again. But that moon is so bright, it's like somebody turned on an LED. But Arcturians, Pleiadians, you know how it is. Let me get the chime. And as you hear the chime this morning, ask yourself, what am I preparing myself for? And when you make that decision, let it be something beautiful that you're preparing yourself for. And do what? Experience in imagination or rehearse in imagination what you would experience in reality if you were the man or the woman you said you were. Oh, it is such a pleasure to see each and every one of you in this space today. It truly is. Come, Grams. I need some assistance with moderators. Hold on. Hold on. I got to make some mods on Fanbase. I am. Grams, you best not be waking up that rooster. But listen, I trust that today, if you listen, if you missed it, hello, Lorna. A.M. Amani, I see you. Kendra, welcome to the space. A.M. Amani, Lorna, Farah, Prophet NYC, and Ray Ray, they're all here on Fanbase. And remember tonight. Let them use you. Yeah. Yes, Good morning, everybody. All right, y'all.
Yeah, you was cooking. You was cooking this morning. What? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. You was cooking this morning. All she was preaching in morning, Graham. I smelled the breakfast, baby.
You see, now these guys on Twitter and YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok get to experience what Fanbase is like in first person. We get to talk to each other. So if you want to be a part of that experience, y'all, I'm about to close the rest of y'all rooms because these guys stay with me while I finish getting ready and making my tea in the morning. But let me do the famous countdown because we always do it, right? But remember tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the bedtime story from Neville Goddard, The Law and the Promise. That is chapter 2. Tonight we're reading 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Twitter, Fanbase, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. That's where we will be tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So Twitter, Yoda Green. You know I love you, and I'll see you tonight, darling. Much love. So Twitter is closed. YouTube, I didn't even do my countdown. 5, no, countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Peace out, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok.